Hello, welcome to another show in our Network Group podcast. I nearly forgot what I've done because I've just come off the golf course literally 5 minutes ago. So here we are. We work hard here at Network Group to bring this content to you, so I hope you really enjoy this. Today, I'd like to say we've got a real star within the Network Group, Leigh Wood. Leigh Wood joins us here today. Leigh's from Node IT, and we're going to do a bit of an introduction and going to get into some interesting conversations and learn a little bit more about Leigh. Afternoon, Leigh. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Yourself?
Very good, thank you.
Excellent.
Leigh, thank you very much for coming on to the podcast here and joining us today. We've known one another for a few years.
We have.
A number of years, through many guises,
Indeed.
not only through the Network Group. But what I'd like you to do is speak to the audience and let them know a little bit about yourself. So what I'm going to ask you to do is, can you introduce yourself, your role, your company, a little elevator pitch about you and Node IT.
Cool. Yeah, so Leigh, I'm the owner and director of Node IT Solutions. I started the company 17 years ago, nearly to the day.
Wow.
And we're still going strong. Got a nice team based in Bedfordshire at Shuttleworth House, which is an amazing location to have an office.
Why is it so amazing?
Think Downton Abbey with an airfield and a
with
a historic airplane collection. So
I always saw you having a butler. I'm just so impressed.
There is actually a little set of bells
No
that
way.
you can do. Yeah.
Does it work?
Yeah, one bell works.
One bell works. Very good.
It's at my desk. It's
And
great.
it's at your desk. Hey, that's just absolutely fantastic. So, what is your role in Node IT?
So I'm the owner. I run the business with my leadership team. There are 17 of us in the organisation. No, there aren't. There are 15 of us in the organisation.
Very good.
Yeah.
So, started 17.
17, now it's 15. Yeah, there's 15 of us at the moment. And
Excellent.
it's a really great team. I've got a really good leadership team. We're based on traction, so we follow that quite strictly, which allows the team to get on with their job whilst the boss visionary is trying to throw grenades at them.
I take it you're the visionary.
I am the visionary.
So that's really good. We'll come back to that traction piece later on and through some of the culture and leadership questions I've got today. So what is the business? What is Node IT? What do you provide services and offerings?
We are an MSP, so we do managed service provider, we do security, we do the support team. We've got a whole range of people on projects and various things. We're very good at taking organizations fully into a proper managed service. So we focus on partnership, we focus on relationship, we focus on training our team on maintaining those relationships. So our clients get to have not just someone fixing an issue, they get to know the people that are looking after them, they get that trust.
Yeah.
So that is a key thing at Node IT. So
Trust,
absolutely. Trust, helping people, keeping to our values, and we remind people values every day. And the clients, as a result, stay with us. We have little churn in team and little churn in clients.
Wow.
Because we work on that all the time. And I think
that's important to you.
Incredibly important. I've put a lot of focus into making sure that everyone has the tools they need and the training, the experience. And when they feed back to us negatively or positively, we take action upon it. It's as much coming from the team, how we direct the organisation, because sometimes they'll notice things that I will not see because they're dealing with clients on a daily basis.
Yes.
But maintaining that relationship with not just the owners or key people in an organisation, but every part of an organisation. And so my engineers will get to know all the different people. So when I go to a client site, I don't get the thanks. My team get the thanks.
Nice. Do they ever say that to you?
Yes, absolutely. People, they'll name members of my team and say specific thank yous to them.
How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel great. I mean, but what makes me feel even better is telling a member of the team.
So it's passing back that good news, praise back to your team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. We're going to go and have a poke around at that later on.
Okay.
One thing I'd like to come to is the personal side and a little bit more about Leigh Wood and who Leigh Wood is. So Leigh, really interesting. You give me a little bit of an insight there. There's a little bit of interest there. You're not from Bedfordshire, are you?
No, I'm not definitely not from Bedfordshire. No.
Oh, right,
I'm a Yorkshire lad.
Yorkshire lad.
Yorkshire lad. So.
I find it. I hear people say I'm from Yorkshire.
Yeah.
Very proud to be
Yeah,
their
I'm from
heritage.
Yorkshire, not England.
Don't know. We'll still keep that in there. But for everybody out there, Yorkshire is part of England. He is an Englishman from Yorkshire.
Yeah, but we're the fourth devolved nation.
Oh, wow.
Yorkshire. Yeah.
Good grief.
I think it was something in the 2012 Olympics. We were something like 8th in the world. In Yorkshire. In gold medals.
In gold medals. Yorkshire won many gold medals.
Yeah,
so you're very proud around Yorkshire. But you also told me you've got some other heritage in there as well.
Yeah, my parents are Welsh. They moved to West Yorkshire in the 1960s. So
Right.
I was born in the 70s. So I grew up in Yorkshire. So I've got a very close relationship to Wales as well.
Okay.
And family, lots of family down there.
Lots of family in Wales.
Lots of memories of going to Welsh farms when it's raining.
Even
as a
when-
child.
I can empathise with the farming background.
Yeah.
So, what do you do? What do you do outside your work? What drives Leigh Wood?
Well, I think one of the issues is work has driven me for quite a long time, and I think I'm one of those owners that fell into the trap, and every so often I come back out of the trap and back into the trap. Running a business can be quite all-encompassing. So when I do get the time out, it's photography, being creative with photography, and trying to be out there with my camera and just taking that time out, spending time with my family. Family comes before photography, I should say.
Yes.
So yeah,
Is it work, family, photography, or do you like to do it some other way?
Well, I work for the family.
You work for the family. Nice. Absolutely.
You know, I work to.
That's what drives you.
Yeah, I remember my dad said to me, he always wanted to do better for his family than his parents did.
Yeah.
That they could do for him. Not that they didn't do anything bad for him, but then I'm the same. Mum and dad gave me a great start, and I do as much as I can to take what I learned from them and do more again to give my children the next opportunity so they can take that further down.
So what did your mum and dad do?
They ran their own businesses as well. So
What kind of businesses?
they ran lots of businesses. So my dad used to work at ICI. And then run
that corporate job.
Yeah, no. That was chemical worker right in the midst of the chemical works in Huddersfield. But then they ran a fish and chip shop, two fish and chip shops. And then in the early 80s, my dad took redundancy and started his own garage in a business partnership with somebody else.
A car garage.
Yeah. He was a bodywork.
That's very diverse.
Oh yeah, I know. So my dad, as far as as a little kid, he was always repairing cars on the drive. So my dad was always working, always striving.
Yeah.
And that got to a point where he went, I want my own garage. And the guy next door was a mechanic. My dad was a bodywork guy. It's a nice mix.
And so was that part of the reason why you may have started your business? You could see that graph?
All of my family own businesses. And when I say all of my family, you can go to brothers, aunts, uncles, everyone just basically across both sides of the family have their own businesses. It's in the blood.
It's in the blood.
Yeah. I got to my mid-30s and went, oh, genetics has taken over now. Got to start a business.
So that maybe comes on to my next question. Your career journey. You brought this to the network group last year. It was really fascinating to hear some of the struggles and strengths.
Yeah.
We're not going to go there.
Yeah.
What I'd really like just a little bit about the career journey. How did Leigh Wood get to being a business owner?
When I went to university, that's when I got my first job in IT. I didn't do an IT degree. I was doing a sociology degree.
That's really all about. I know it's not.
Yeah. I mean, it was really in depth.
In depth.
Yeah. I tell you what is useful is it allows you to understand people and understand what's going on around you and how groups of people work together. And that's been cool. There's certain little things that come up every so often. You go, oh yeah, that's been helpful. But I actually started working for the IT department then, and I basically went into a desktop job at the university after graduating, and then became a server guy and went through the whole process, storage consultant, and took redundancy when I got the opportunity and started Node IT. But I did my bit on the ground.
Yeah. I
was very technical and I got very good at what I did and I had a good career.
Yeah.
But throughout that, I got my first job when I was 9.
9 years old.
9 years old.
Okay.
Little paper round.
Yeah.
And I've always worked. So even when I've worked for somebody else, I've always done my own thing.
always had something
always
which
had
is in your own,
yeah.
which is.
And fixing people's computers or just helping people do I've done everything from painting. I've always gone and found work or found some opportunity.
Yeah.
And so that was really strong. And when I started at IT, I had a business partner at the time.
Okay.
And that worked well for the first 4 or 5 years. But then he decided to leave, and I took over. And
you decided to take on the reins at that point.
I did, which was a tough thing to do.
Yeah.
You know, because you kind of built something up as two people working together.
Because you find that's a crux. It's not a crux. It's support. When you're down or they're up. You know, it's always. But now you're on your own.
Yes.
That's challenging.
And there was a period of time where I was on my own, and until my wife joined the organisation. And when she joined the organisation, it was a relatively short period, about 2 and a bit years. But in that period of time, suddenly I had someone to share the burden with. Yeah. And that allowed us to right the ship and really start moving in the right direction, both as a company, but also as a couple.
Yeah.
We were both able to go, actually, this can be the vehicle that drives personal success or personal goals. We set goals and things that we wanted to do. We set our values, and we found the alignment in our own relationship and the business we held together. And we were able to take it forward and have success. But there was a period of time between having a business partner and then having Maggie join me where that was very much wilderness.
And Maggie's your wife?
Maggie's my wife. Yeah.
So let's move on a little bit. I know you're bit about your background. You have spent a lot of time building your own company. You've lent into Traction, EOS, and you're a very big supporter of that.
Yes.
I also know you're a very big supporter of a peer networking group called Evolve.
I am.
How many years have you been in Evolve?
I joined Evolve in 2019.
So you've been in Evolve for over 6 years, nearly coming up to 6 years.
Yes, it will be in September. Yeah.
And I know you've been a great exponent or supporter of the ConnectWise community, which is a fabulous community and does so much good. I was involved for 10 years myself, so I know a lot about the background of Evolve, of the five. I think it's 5 plans. Is there still 5 plans? 4 plans.
You're a 3 to a 4 alumni, aren't you?
I am. I'm an alumni.
That's the group I'm in.
You're 3 to a 5. Fantastic. You're following some great footsteps, not mine, some other people. But when you also have taken on another challenge in there, which I'm fascinated to explore, is I believe you're actually on the ConnectWise Partner Council.
Yes, the Corporate Advisory Council. So they have several.
The Corporate Advisory Council.
Yeah, so they have several advisory councils in the organisation. Some about products. They have one for Evolve specifically, and then they have the corporate one. And the corporate one meets with the senior leadership team.
So who's in that senior? Is that the seniors at the top leadership?
Yeah, Manny.
And that's the CEO.
That's the CEO.
The Manny.
All of his senior team that work with him, they're all in there, and various other people that come in. So you'll get product specialists, you'll get the leads in ASIO, etc., which is their platform that they're building. They'll come in as well. And then.
So how have you found that? Curious to find out, because you spoke to me a little bit about this, so I understand that you get there's an insight into the industry that others don't get because of that exposure to that level.
Yeah, so it was an unexpected opportunity, to say the least. And the people who were in before me, who represented EMEA, Raja and Graham Lane, two very, very big heavyweights of our industry.
Those are names well known.
They're well-known names, and they're very good at what they do. So then for me to be the person that follows those two, and initially I was like, well, why me? And then having a conversation with Susan, who used to run the CAC, she said, we need the voices of every type of organisation, and we are short of voices like your companies. We've got the bigger companies, we've got the medium guys. We need those MSPs who are really on the ground, really doing the job in a smaller world, as such, and we need their voices. And so it was a really interesting opportunity that came my way. I didn't know what I was getting into to a certain degree. I had a very good conversation with Roger about it, and he was on there for quite a long time. My experience so far is, so we meet in person twice a year, and then we meet each month virtually. And my experience has been, in the room is an incredible variety and some incredible people who have got some amazing opinions and insights. And they all run MSPs, or they may represent groups of MSPs, or maybe their own MSP is similar size to my own. The majority in the United States.
Okay.
So that's a very different way of working to how we work in EMEA.
Well, could you explain that briefly? What do you mean by that?
They've got very different laws and very different ways of doing business.
Right.
I think America is it's very good at business. They're very supportive of their teams, but also they've got different ways of how you handle teams. Resourcing is a lot more cutthroat in the United States.
Cutthroat meaning?
Well, their labour laws allow you to get rid of someone quicker than in the UK, but also they are they're very ready to tell you where you're not doing something right, as well as point you in the direction you need to go. They're very vocal.
Okay.
The other representative is in Australia. So.
Okay. So you're the only representative from the UK on the board on that panel?
EMEA. So I
EMEA?
EMEA, yeah. So
which is Europe, Middle East and Africa.
I know.
Grief, that's quite a large area.
It's quite a large area. We have had that conversation.
Okay.
What's fascinating is you're there with these very senior people running an organisation much larger than my own, and they want to hear, and they listen.
And what difference does that make them? Just they hear what happens thereafter?
They listen and take action.
What kind of action?
So you can feed back to them. They come to us with suggestions that show us things they want to do, and they want to see how the community would react to that. Okay. And if it's something community needs, and how things are structured. Sometimes they may not need us to direct them. We're not telling them how to run the business, but it allows them to understand the impact they are having on companies like ours, or what companies like ours want from an organisation like that. And I think if you go back, and your own experience probably says this, but I remember 2014, we used to have 5 hours ahead.
Yes.
Where we would have the owners of ConnectWise in the room, and they would speak to you, and they would listen to you, and you would see change in the product, or you would see change in the community, or you would get support and information.
Yes.
And what's really interesting is that still exists, even though Arnie's no longer owning or running ConnectWise. That focus on community, that focus on us and how they are serving us and how they can best serve us. It's really fascinating to hear that it's there in that organisation, and it's highly regarded. Yes.
Within the industry and within them, or?
Yeah, both. But I think you see a lot of other companies, the bigger companies, they're all trying to see what ConnectWise has done to build that community. So that community strength has helped them a tremendous amount over the years. And I think moving forward, it'll still happen. And the investment they put into community, like at Network Group.
Yes.
We've got things coming forward in Network Group where we're working with Evolve and IT Nation.
Yes.
And when you look at how Evolve and IT Nation supports organisations like our own.
Yes.
And that's incredible.
It is.
And they didn't need to do that. If you think of big corporates, they don't need to do these things. But actually saying Evolve is important, and hearing the voices of our clients is important. So for me, joining that, because it's important hearing the voices of my clients and passing that into my team, and then letting them know actions which are positive or negative, or how things work, and then seeing a large organisation like that do the same, but also in a setting which I'm not used to being in. I mean, we're talking $100 million company, and very successful over the years, and being an industry leader, and they are listening and making change. I'm
very glad. It's that is very reassuring and heartening to hear. We're going to do a little bit of a pivot. We're going to move on to a couple of other questions. There's one question isn't on the list I gave you, and one that I do want to ask, and you're more than capable of answering this question. And it's around leadership. And you've spoken a lot about leadership and EOS and traction. And I know what you've done, the efforts you put into your team around leadership. But it is a question I've been asking. The question is, can leadership be learned, or is it a natural trait, an inherited trait that people have? Are there natural leaders, or can people learn to be a leader?
Ooh, you can learn it, but I think without that natural ability to lead, it's a lot more difficult.
Okay.
I think you can learn it, but I think if you're having to learn how to lead without that natural ability to say, okay, I'm going to make a decision, or I've got the ability to make a decision, that becomes really tough, and you can second guess yourself more. And so it takes a lot longer to learn the traits needed. And to be honest, at that point, you're probably better off bringing in other people to lead and represent you.
Mm-hmm.
I've always felt I've had a natural leadership style,
mm-hmm.
but that doesn't mean I've not had to learn to lead. I was taught to lead at a very young age in scouting. I was taught how my very first leadership role would have been for 5 other 9-10-year-old boys in Cubs.
In the Cubs, you and your pack.
Yeah,
was your
exactly.
group.
So I was a sixer, and I was taught how to look after my six, and I was taught that again further in scouts. As always through scouting, I was taught how to lead.
Yeah.
So then when it came to leading in the natural world, the working world, that's always been natural to me.
But that muscle memory of being a leader, you were developing that from the age of 9.
Yeah, absolutely. You learn at that your very young age, and you also learn how to be led.
Yes.
So you learn how to listen to other people and take action, and you make mistakes. And if you're an organisation which allows you to learn and make mistakes, how great is that? From a young age. And not everybody can lead.
No,
not everyone can lead, and not everyone needs to be a leader.
That's a very good point. Not everybody needs to be a leader.
The worst thing you can do is take an engineer in your service team and say, because he's been there the longest and he's well senior, right, now you're a manager.
Yeah.
Because he might go, I don't really want to be a manager of all these people, and start doing one-to-ones and all the responsibilities of that. He just wants to be great at doing IT.
Yeah.
So you've got to have a level of innate skill and want and desire to lead.
Now, I've asked this question in almost all the conversations I've had, and there's a theme, a golden thread going through this, that there are some people who are natural leaders who can lead, and there's others that pushing them into leadership is not always the right thing. So you're reiterating that. Let's just go into a couple of other questions because time is running on, and it's a fascinating conversation. You've spoken about EOS and traction.
Yeah.
Company culture.
Yeah.
What company culture do you have in Node IT?
I like to think it's trust and openness. And the thing you've got to remember is that's not a once and done thing. It's a consistent thing of you've got to remind people that they can come and talk to you. You've got to remind people that they can go to their leaders, their own line managers, and talk to them. And you need to give the people the opportunity to have that. And if you don't follow the tools of EOS effectively, that can start to cut. And it doesn't take long for the wobble to come in. You've got to, it's a consistent thing.
Yes.
And, sometimes we go wrong on it. We are not perfect in any way. And and you will find out from your team very quickly if you're not.
You'll be kept on the rails as well.
As I say, I only own the company. That's
interesting.
They all run it.
They all run it.
Yeah.
So that's been fantastic. I think we've come through to quite a lot of there. I think this whole EOS, traction, leadership, culture, these are all things which have helped you in your career and drive the business.
Well, when we talked earlier about having been on your own, and then Maggie came into the business and she dropped back out again. And I was kind of left again where I needed someone to help me, and I realised that the way forward that was traction. No, actually, I realised the way forward was to create a leadership team.
Yeah. So
I created the leadership team first through 2 people in my organisation specifically. We ran for about a year, and then I brought traction into them. I didn't give them traction straight away. I allowed them to run and get on their feet. Then we brought in traction, and we brought in a facilitator, and we started to learn how to run that. And over the last 3 and a bit years of running that, I have 2 people in my organisation have become leaders in that organisation. So they get training, they get to learn and develop, and they get to run teams, which allows me to allow them to move on. So it allows me to do other things as such within the organisation and not worry about what's happening day to day on service tickets and technology. And I haven't deployed anything probably for 4 years, 5 years now.
Wow.
So that's down to them to do. I sell it. That's what I do. But they're the ones that guys go and deploy it and make it happen. And
so one of the things somebody mentioned to them, it was one of our friends in network group told me about this golden thread, and it's something that's borne a hole in when I'm having a conversation. I can just see a little golden thread coming through the Leigh Wood from the 9-year-old in the Scout who goes through the leadership, through seeing the work, etc., from the family side. So it's wonderful to see this golden thread all the way through to Leigh Wood, now sitting on the ConnectWise part of council there. We're going to wrap this up now. We've come to top of the time we'd allowed ourselves. What I'd like to do is say thank you very much, Leigh. So Leigh Wood from Node, who's come in to join us and see us today. It's been an absolute pleasure having him here today. But Leigh, what I would like to leave the audience with is, how can they get in contact with you afterwards, and what's the best way to get in touch?
You can find me on LinkedIn. Leigh Wood on Leigh, spelled Leigh.
Yes.
Really important. Or on email, leigh.wood@node-it.com.
Leigh, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much. I've really enjoyed my conversation today.
Thank you, Austen.
I hope you have a great day today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
To the audience out there, thank you very much. This has been another episode here from the Network Group, a member session to lead one-to-one to find out more about us at Network Group. Thank you very much. I wish to see you back again when we'll have another podcast.